After God expelled them from paradise, they now had to live with the consequences that they inherited with their sin, which was disobedience to God's command, but also to make sacrifices, as we already see from the 3rd chapter of Genesis and verse 21. And as we reach the 4th chapter of Genesis, we see that Adam and Eve teach this to their children, Cain and Abel. And reading from the 3rd verse, we see that Abel offered the offering that he had to do, and God respected his offering. However, Cain offered an offering, but not as God had commanded. And we see this in verses 3 to 5 of the 4th chapter of Genesis. And we read verses 3 to 5. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And for this reason Cain killed his brother Abel. And we see that God has a conversation with Cain and the consequences that this action of his would have, as we also see part of the generation of Cain's seed, and we reach Lamech. Now Lamech confesses to his wives and says, verses 23 to 24, And Lamech said unto his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice, you wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech. For I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. So we see that Lamech from the generation of Cain fell into the same fault as Cain. However, Adam and Eve teach the same things to their children. In verses 25 to 26, we read that Adam obtained Seth, and from then they began to be called by the name of the Lord. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God, said she, hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son. And he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord.